If you've been thinking about making the move to Calgary, then you need to watch this video to find out if the 3 reasons why I think you might not like it here will make you change your mind about coming. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh Murdoch with Real Broker. If you find any value in this video, then I'd love if you could hit that like button down there, hit that subscribe button, and also comment what your favorite part of this video is and if you learned something from it. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The first and most obvious reason why you might not like Calgary is the harsh climate and cold winters. Now, I think this might seem super obvious to some, but for others, I don't think they really realize how bad Calgary can really get. Whether that's super cold or a lot of snow or super windy. Now, we're not quite as bad as Lethbridge for the wind aspect, so that's awesome because I hate the wind and I think most people do as well. When it comes to the cold and the snow aspect though, usually we get absolutely dumped on. An example of this is about a month ago, we had a super cold snap in Calgary. I'm not sure if it was record breaking, but it was probably close. The average temperature throughout the entire week was probably in the mid to high -30s, which is absurd. And then on top of that, with the wind chill, it added on an extra -10 degrees. So it's pretty hard to do a lot of things. Obviously, going outside was a task. You had to really bundle up. And another thing that comes along with that super cold weather that you have to think about is if you have an electric car. Obviously, electric cars don't do very well and their ranges are super limited when it is that cold. So that is one thing to think about, that if you do have an electric car, is it worth the move? All right, so we've gone over the most obvious reason. Now let's go over 2 other reasons that are a little less talked about. Second on the list is the lack of transportation. When it comes to transportation in Calgary, it's obviously super important because we are such a big city, but our public transport falls a little short of what's needed. When it comes to buses, our city is decent. We have quite a few routes that covers most of the city, so that's not too bad. But when it comes to the C train that runs through the city, it's a bit of a different story. So it doesn't cover that much area. It goes from the deep south to the northwest and the northeast, which might sound great. But when you come here, obviously you'll realize that it really doesn't cover as much ground as it really should. But the positive thing with that is we are planning on building the new Green Line, which will cover more of the eastern part of the city, and that should be coming in place in the next couple of years. The final negative thing about Calgary that I want to talk about is the nightlife. So if you are a big partier, then Calgary honestly probably isn't the best place for you. There's better places in Canada like Vancouver or Toronto where it's a lot more diverse. But here in Calgary, there's only really a few options. We do have a couple cool, dive bars and things like that. But true like clubs and nightlife, we really don't have that much of. So if you're into that, obviously this probably won't be the best city. One last thing I wanted to add along with the nightlife not being great is the entertainment side of Calgary. We do have a whole lot of events. Obviously, we have this Calgary Stampede and we have a lot of major events. But when it comes to, just wanting to go out for a night and entertain yourselves or a group of friends, we're not super diverse in that. I think COVID really had a big hit on us, but I do see that we are slowly getting more and more unique, arcades and cool party rooms and things like that. So it is positive, but for now, it's not the greatest. And that is going to conclude the 3 reasons why I think you might not like Calgary. If you have any more questions or you're still undecided on whether you want to move to Calgary or not, please feel free to reach out to me. All of my contact information will be down below. But other than that, if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe while you're down there. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.